So today I'm going to do a upgrade on a Yamaha Helm Master EX set of controls or rigging, specifically from level 3 to level 4. Now, if you wanted to see what the steps were to do that, you can look at one of my other videos, previous one where I go through the level 2 to level 3 upgrade and what that process is and the rigging and so forth. So this is just a simple upgrade to get from level 3 to level 4, and I'll outline how that is done on this system. It's designed completely to be plug and play. So let's go and get started. So first of all, some of the things that are required on this system is a CL5. Now CL5 is necessary to get access to the calibration that's required for the joystick. Now if you notice here, I've got the joystick here. Joystick mounts in here so you can go forward, back, left, right. You can also turn it so you can articulate the bow and stern, okay? Now I did this here because there was already an existing cup holder that is here. And I did not want to drill any more holes, and this actually has the joystick kind of out of the way. It's still easily accessible. It's ergonomic. I get full range of use. Just by designing this adapter plate, this is 3D printed, so that I could use the existing hole that had the cup holder in there. So that was the intent here. And that way that can be completely mounted in that location without having to drill another hole. Now, going back to what's required, the CL5 display is required. The other option is Yamaha does make a MFD interface. They have an MFD1 and MFD2. What that allows you to do is do integration, for example, like to Garmin displays. I don't have Garmin, so I'm using the CL5 in this case. But that's your option as far as getting controls, because you need to be able to calibrate this and everything, and that has to be accessible through either a CL5 or through a Garmin display with that MFD1. And then you also have to connect it to your J1939 interface that's on the Garmin in order to get all that to work. So at any rate, this is what we'll use for that. This, I already mounted it in. I'll show you in the second helm how I did that. Let me go back here and look. So basically, my second helm, there is a cup holder that was here. So I went ahead and pulled that out. And what I did is I designed something similar. This one, I had to get this up a little bit higher, but you can see how this all mounts in. It's pretty straightforward. So you'll see here, this won't fit, right? This hole is too big, okay? So what I did is I designed this so that it would fit perfectly in here, as you can see. And then at the bottom of this, there's a little alignment pin, see? So I had to design that into here. And this allows me to stick this in just like so. And then this underneath, I designed this so it's a collar that goes up underneath. And then that way, this will be able to sandwich right up from the bottom. And this will have a nice tight fit so that I can run the control right from here. Okay, so that's the intention. Having the 3D printer and being able to design things is for rigging is amazing, because you can build everything custom, just like what I did for this, along with row of other things. So it's really a game changer to be able to do that. This is printed out of PET GF. Okay, so there's glass fibers in here. The reason why we use well, PET G, of course, is chemical resistant. It's fairly stable. The GF gives it even more stability and strength. Now, why we use GF versus carbon fiber or CF? Carbon fiber, well, that can react with the aluminum. Now, granted, this is painted. We can use marine, silicone, and everything to kind of create a barrier, but the reality is, carbon fiber and aluminum, there'll be a galvanic reaction between the two. So the safer bet is to just use the glass fiber version of PETG, which is what I did. Okay, so that's going to mount here. And then as far as connecting this, that gets real easy. So we go underneath. Here it is right there. Okay, so that's our connector for our joystick. And we'll connect it into here. And the same up front, there's another one that's in the wiring harness. And it's labeled, it should be labeled joystick somewhere in this mess. I just know that that's what that one is. It's a 6-pin connector. Okay, and that's what you'll see. Oh, this is not the most ergonomic position here. Oh, here's our cable. Like, what happened to the cable? Okay, see? 6-pin, plugs right into here. You got to take the cap off, of course, and plug that into here. And then in the front, it's going to be the same thing. And then we have one other thing to add. All right, the other thing we're going to have to add is a new BCU, boat control unit. There we go. All right. So if you look at the rigging guide, you're going to see that there are different models based on whether you have a single engine, twin engine, triple, quad, what have you, okay? And this is indicated by this part number. So the prefix is going to be the same. If it's with it starts with a 2, well, that's for twins. If it's a 1, it's single. And, you know, 3, triple, so on and so forth. Okay? Now, the deal is you can use this for, this is a twin engine, okay? But you can use the single engine version if all you're going to do is autopilot. Where it changes, if you're going to go to full maneuverability with layer or level 4, then you have to have the corresponding BCU, so a twin, triple, quad, all right? Because it's independently adjusting each motor's steering and position, and these other BCUs are required in order to enable that functionality, okay? Specifically with the joystick or the full maneuverability. So we're going to get underneath there and swap that out. If you want details on that, please see the first video where I have the standard BCU installed. As far as connecting that, please look at the previous video that covers the autopilot installation, and you'll see how that connects to the wiring harness. And that's pretty much it. Now, once we add all this, of course, I'm going to get a system scan message on the CL5. And so in order to do the BPS scan, of course, you have to take that to a dealer that can use the Yamaha diagnostic interface, and that'll do any firmware updates, and then it sends all that information up to Yamaha, and they update their customer database. So that's a requirement. Otherwise, it'll still work. You're just going to get this annoying nagging message every time you turn the system on that says you need to complete the scan. And you'll get that until you get that completed. But that's pretty much it. Okay, so here it is. It's all installed. You can see you get this nice ergonomic positioning that's right here. All right. Okay, I got everything plugged in. That was a little bit of a Gumby moment, trying to get underneath the dash and reach everything. So we're going to power up the system. Ah, we got lights on the joystick. That's good. Now realize we're parked. We're in the garage. We can't get a GPS signal. The engines aren't running, blah, 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 right? We're not going to have the ability to really test this out until we get on the water, but you'll at least see that it sees the system. There's this mode button that now appears. So now you'll see that there's things like fish point bow, fish point stern. That's the fish point functionality. Okay, so that just appeared because it recognized that the joystick is there, right? And the full maneuverability kit has been added. Now, notice here, this is the system scan. Remember I mentioned you're going to have to take this into a dealer that has the WIDES interface to basically do the BPS scan and send that to Yamaha. System still works fine. This is just the annoying thing that's going to keep coming up every time you start the system up. Okay? All right. All right, the other thing that we're going to see beyond just the mode change is joystick calibration and other settings are now going to show up in the CL5's display. So if you go over here under menu, go under boat settings, lo and behold, now we have joystick and set point. Okay, there's even calibration here. Joystick and set point, what this allows us to do is set our joystick thrust level. Okay, level 2 is the default. You can also use the arrow buttons over here to raise and lower it while the system is running. Okay. All right. Anyway, this is how you get to that. Under calibration, there's also a joystick calibration. Okay. This has to be done on the water. Okay. And yeah, that's pretty much it for getting it plugged in. And again, hopefully that's helpful for you if you're looking at doing the upgrade from the level 3 to level 4, the full maneuverability kit. It really, truly is a plug-and-play system and makes it really easy to upgrade these if you're looking at doing that. All right, take care.